My favorite disruptive change really is the awareness of the power of visualization and affirmational thinking. And that happened to me about 1980 or 81, where I started running across some information about how that works, how the reticular activating system works, that sort of as you focus on things, it affects your perceptive filters. And just starting to work the affirmational process and ideal scene kind of process. I mean, most of my life got created by writing affirmations and writing out scenes that hadn't existed yet. And I didn't know how to get there. I just defined what there was. So learning the power of outcome thinking, which then gets translated down into the work that I do, because a lot of the GTD or getting things done process is about focus and focusing on outcomes as opposed to problems or other kinds of things. So outcome thinking, I mean, literally when I wrote Getting Things Done, the first thing I wrote were the reviews. So learning how that works as a very practical tool. If I wanted to thinking about this interview, to have an image called at the end of this, how would I like you to feel, me to feel, what result would I like to have, and training myself about how powerful that was, not as some sort of na-na-nu-nu California-esque kind of thing, but as a very, very practical thing about how visions and images and scenarios in your mind and in your imagination affect perception and performance directly. And and there's just been more and more data over the years that's come out with that. But basically, I live a life a picture I painted. The disruptive change that I'm currently dealing with right now is really, since my work is going global and we're being asked to take this work in so many different places, to really represent the work for the why of it, not just the what and the how. What's the purpose of implementing what we do? Because a lot of people, when they come across our work, say, well, gee, that's organization, that's corporate, that's linear, that's sequential. I probably should do that, but it looks like hard work and I don't need that. I like to be creative and spontaneous. And they don't, and interestingly, once you come inside, once you part the curtain and go see what Oz is really like, it's really about fun and creativity. That's why all of us are like people meet us and and people in my company, they go, God, you're not anything like what I thought you would be like. So changing the image of the work that we do to the world out there, that's a huge challenge that we have. And it is productivity in its most global and in its deepest sense. That you say, God, I had a really good day today. So we say I was really productive today, and that could be I took a great nap. I had a fabulous play with the dog. I got to hang out with my niece, and we just did so many cool things. That's a productive day. But the essence of that is fun and meaningful engagement with your life. It's not about working harder or stressing out or any of that kind of stuff. So changing the image of what GTD and what the work that we do and the results we produce is a big challenge that we have right now, because the world, there's so many people in the world that really want and need that. And so being able to line up how we represent ourselves with the truth of what actually happens when people engage. Because when people really apply this stuff, it is truly transformative. But that's not the image or the sense that you get right now when you touch in with our work and how we're being represented. We need to gather all the stories, because stories are what communicate it. And the stories of people and how GTD has changed their lives are huge. And people, I think when people start to see a lot more of the range and breadth of types of people who get this and who produce incredible results for themselves in doing it, and they start to model and start to see it. It's sort of the great lover syndrome. I can tell you I'm a great lover, but if she tells you I'm a great lover, that's a whole different thing. So, getting the story of GTD really out and making that much more available, because there's a lot of people that are GTDers on the planet, but not nearly as many as there would or could or should be who could use this, around the world right now. It took me 25 years to figure out what I figured out, and probably the rest of my life to figure out how to create a distribution channel for it and actually convince people to come play.